Hi, it's Jordantine1, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this cute, quick, and easy Loomigurumi cross. So I have done several different cross designs in the past, so this is a nice, easy hook-only design, and you can make it a lot of different sizes, really. The one I'm going to be showing you in the tutorial is this size here that's on the two ends. And that measures approximately 3 inches by 4 inches. But if you want to just do less chains on either piece, you can make a shorter one. For example, this one here is about 2.5 by 3 inches, or then you can make it even larger. I'm going to start by making a chain of 11, and for that I have 22 bands. And you can see I do have them in piles of 2 because I found that if you double the bands in the center, those center chains, it does definitely help the cross to hold its shape much better. So I have a different color for my center, and that's where the cross is going to cross. And so you may want to use a different color, you may want to use the same color. I'm basically just doing this for more of a visual, so it's easier for you guys to see. So I'm going to start by doubling the first. So you're just putting both on at once, twist one time, and put them back on. So you'll see 4 loops on your hook. And then it's just a matter of making a chain. You want to go through all 4, get the other side back on. And we're going to do this until we have a chain of 11. So it's slightly more difficult, I think, to make a chain when you have 2 bands at once. Just make sure you're going through all the loops, and then every so often I like to sort of just wiggle it to make sure that the bands are in the center of each other. So here's the middle. This is our 6th. You can see I didn't quite make it through all 4 loops. This is our 6th chain. That's going to be the center. And as I said, you can definitely keep all of this the same color, but I think it's just easier to see on camera if I use a different. So I have 2 more sets. And this is our shorter chain. This is going to be the arms of the cross. And then you're going to need to hold this together for a little while. So you can use a stitch marker, which is what I have here. Just go through all 4 loops. If you don't have a stitch marker, you could use really any rubber band. I wouldn't recommend clips unless you just did one on either side, because it would be kind of hard to get 4 bands on one clip. But if you did not have a stitch marker, just take any color band and just make a sort of snug slip knot, and that can hold it together as well. Next we'll do our second chain. This is going to be the longer one. We're going to chain 15, and so I have 30 bands. So again, we're just going to double the first. We're going to do a chain of 15, and where it's going to cross is again on the 6th band. So I do have a different color for that. It's up to you if you want to change the color or keep it the same. So here's number 6. If my bands look extra shiny, it might be because I had to add some silicone oil. They were really rubbery and hard to pull through, so I added that oil, but now I've made them extra slippery. So I don't know which was worse. I had found that my oil had actually leaked out of the bottle, so I had an unexpected surprise to clean up. Down to the last 2 sets. again, just smooth them out. And then hold this end closed with a stitch marker or another band. Once you have your 2 chains formed, then it's time to put them together. So we're going to cross them where we have this different colored band, or on your 6th one on each piece. So one thing that's very important is you need to make sure that you're putting them through one another with the bands facing the correct direction. So if you look here where our loose bands are at the end, the way that you want to have this laid is so that the loose bands on either side are at the top and the bottom. You want to have it sitting in this direction, and the same thing goes for the other piece. You want to make sure that you have the bands, the loose bands, at the top and the bottom, not side to side, but up and down. So I'm going to lay them out in that direction, and then I'm going to just push through the very center. Make sure you get through all 4 loops, 6th one down, and then make sure these are the right direction. I'm going to grab the end, and I'm just going to slide it straight through until those bands cross one another. You're going to need 57 bands to finish your cross. So it's 56, and then that 57th one is just going to tie this off. So we're starting with an increase and then 12 singles. Then we'll do 4 in the same, 8, 4 in the same, 8, 4 in the same, 12, an increase and tie off. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to put my hook through just like I was going to make another chain. So I have to go through the 4 loops. I can take out my stitch marker here, and I am going to start with an increase. So pull through all 4, get the other end back on, one through the other, and then I'm going to do that same thing again. Just make sure that you're going through the very center every time. And then it's going to be 1 in each. So we're just going to work our way up and then across the one arm. So the bands that cross in the very center, we are not going to be going through those at all, but we are going to be going through every other chain. We'll actually go through each chain twice because we're going to go on one side of it and then we'll come back down the other side. So here's the one that's right before where they cross. I am going through that. It's kind of curling up, but don't worry about that. So I'm going to skip the ones where they cross, and I'm just going to go to that next one. I'll work my way into the next arm. And then I'll just continue along here. So this was my 12th single, and then I'm going to go in the end, again go through all 4 loops, and this time we're going to do 4 in the same. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to work our way coming back. So we have 1 in each for the next 8. And don't worry if it's sort of curling on you, because once we're all finished, it'll straighten out nicely. So again, here's the one before the centers where they crossed. I am going in that. sure I get through all of them here. And now I'm going to work my way up the top. Again, not the ones where they cross. So this time we have just 4 singles going up. We already did the other 4 coming up the arm. And now we're at the top. So again, I have 4 in the seam. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to come down. So again, we're going to do 8, 4 to go down from the top, and then 4 out the other arm. Again, nothing in the center. And now I'm to my loose bands here. So I'm just going to push through all 4, make sure I have every one. And I'm doing 4 in the seam. So here's 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to work my way down. So I'm back to 12. So here's my 4th. And now ignore the center. So hopefully everybody's is coming along nicely here. When we get down to that very last one, we are doing one more increase. And that's just going to help to round out the bottom. Oops. So here's where I'm doing my increase. And then finally, I'm going to go to the very first stitch, take my very last band, make a nice and tight slip knot, and then I'm just going to reach up through here and hide this. So now you can just take a minute and smooth all of this out. And then your cross is complete. I hope that everyone loves their new crosses that you can display for the upcoming holiday season. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook. You can post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to post your pictures there too, and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching!